Time for today's my take on, and it's going to be on the verse from Matthew 28:19, so that you understand basically from the standpoint of history what the verse should mean. And then I will read it. We will read the New International Version, which says, "Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit." So basically today we have a verse that teaches us about what you're supposed to be doing, not what I've seen in the past. We have a history of nations conquering nations and nations come people coming over from Europe conquering the Americas in the name of God, and there's a lot of problems with the way they interpreted that. Basically, people coming over here deciding, "Oh, I got to go take up an army and fight these people in the name of God." It's like well, that's them leaning on Old Testament ideas. Way back in the Old Testament, there was the Israelites had to conquer the lands of Canaan. When they didn't really convert people unless you read another absolute version of it. If you would say that instead of when they killed a lot of people in the nation, although they spared some because they just didn't finish it, and they had some as well, basically servants because they tricked them into it. But the point is that we don't follow this conquering thing. It if you read the extreme of the Old Testament, like if it wasn't kill, but it was to make them be obedient to God somehow, if we would reread that, absolve them all into the nation. But it looks pretty much like they had an army back then. So basically, what we're reading in the New Testament is it's not go therefore and kill people if they don't convert to God, kind of what they've done in the past, decided, oh, it's God's will, I'm going to go invade such and such. Like they came to the Americas, decided, oh, all these people are heathens, so we're just going to fight them or do dirty things to them. Yeah, it happened in more than here in America, but you have the idea from history. There, people did not learn anything about the New Testament verse about going, therefore, and making disciples of all nations. They don't read the part about showing mercy, and they don't care that Jesus told them that everyone's a sinner, so they're basically on the same ground. So they really don't have any cause to be going conquering things when they're just supposed to make disciples, which means you don't have to fight them. You just have to convince them that Jesus is better to be followed than whatever they're following, or if it's an addition to what they believe. Sometimes in some places in Native American culture, there were a few tribes that the Great Spirit belief system they had sounded similar to the Christian idea, but they didn't have the Jesus part. So, but basically, we're saying the point is you're not supposed to be going out and killing people in the name of God. You're supposed to be telling them about Jesus. And anybody who says that it was great to conquer people in the name of God is really needs to understand that making disciples doesn't mean killing people. It means telling them about what Jesus told them to do, is to tell them about him, tell them about the love and the great stories of the New Testament and how it's changed because of Jesus, and it's not the old ways where they would be conquering the bad guys. And that's pretty much my message there. It just we shouldn't be having wars on people because they have different belief systems. We should be trying to encourage them to come to ours. And having mercy is letting them, if they refuse, just let them be, basically, and God will take care of it, because you know that there was a verse, as I was saying, vengeance is the Lord's. If there was there's a verse that says if you want to convert people, you have to be like them, and basically you're supposed to love one another, and you can't love people by killing them. You have to love them while they're alive. And so that'll be pretty much all I've pretty much got to say. So just understand that the verse is not meant as a conquering weapon. And you can find that verse at biblehub.com/Matthew/28-19.htm. And that link will also be in the credits of the video. Thank you for listening. Bye.